Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Hidden Harvest. We're going to do a two-part episode. Yes, it's broken down into two parts because neither one of them is going to be very, very long. So, up first, let's go check out the garden. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Hidden Harvest with Liz. Today, we're going to be doing a December walkthrough. Never thought I would be saying that. Never even considered until this year doing a fall planting of anything. It's been an interesting experience. I've got garlic going, I've got cabbages going. I'm scared to eat this. Never tried growing it before. Sweet peas. Well, not sweet peas. They're sugar daddies, I think. Yeah, they're sugar daddies. Those are good. Right here we have got our awesome garlic already growing in and putting in a whole lot of foliage, which I'm very, very scared of. Apparently whenever you plant your garlic, it's only supposed to get about this big, maybe, before the really cold season comes in. And our really cold season hasn't even started, and we've got 8-9 inches worth of foliage on top of the garlic, so I think I planted mine way too early. Note to self, plant in December. Yeah. And then we've got a couple of baby lettuces. Some little onions that are planted in there. They're not too many, just like a trial run. And then I've got my cilantro, or coriander, as people like to call it. We've got some mint. Alright, and then we've got a whole bunch of stuff that I'm not exactly sure what is what. I know that the taller ones, the thicker ones, the ones with an actual head to them, those are cabbages, but the others are either broccolini, I think, or they're cauliflower. I'm not really sure which ones survived because some of them didn't survive when I planted them, so I went back and added more seeds in, and I'm not sure what's what. We're just going to have to wait and find out. And then we've got some sweet alyssum, some more cilantro, our Egyptian walking onions, so many carrots. Okay, and then we've got our carrots. They are, on the bigger side, they're about this big around. On the smaller side, probably about that big around. Even though there's a lot of leafy stuff, they aren't growing really, really huge just yet. But these will probably stay in the ground until springtime, I think. We've got some more either broccoli or cauliflower. I'm not really sure which one. Then we've got another smaller cabbage that was planted much, much later with a lot of pest damage. And we've got some bok choy. I'm doing the cut and come again method with the bok choy, and we've already cut the tops once, and they are already just about at the point where I could cut them again. And this might be the last cutting I get. Plus we got a little bit more garlic in here too. Alright, and over here we've got a bit of kale and some sweet peas. Well, sweet daddies? No. Editing Liz, if you don't mind, actually find the name of the seed and put it on there. I can't remember the name of it right now. I'm sure it's on there somewhere. But these are not actually producing peas. They've got blooms, but I don't see any peas on them, whereas I see the ones over there, which tells me that area is getting a whole lot more sun than this area, which I kind of figured the way the sun kind of goes across the sky is so incredibly different than whenever it does it in the summer. It's more of a right here, and during the wintertime it's way over there, so it's actually back behind a whole bunch of trees and these beds don't get a whole lot of sun. Alright, let's keep moving. Alright, and in this bed, as you can see, there's really not a whole lot of stuff growing. I've got bok choy in here, but it's growing very, very slow. And I've got a couple of radishes that have been in here for a long, long time. I keep hoping that they will go to seed for me. But all they're doing is getting, well, beefy looking. I'm not sure how else to describe it. They just look very, very beefy. So that is the end of the garden. Not a whole heck of a lot going on, but the fact that anything is growing at all during the fall was not something I thought I would ever actually see, which gives me hope for next year. And as you can see, the greenhouse did not survive our first real rain, so we're gonna have to think of something else. Hopefully we can get it fixed. Sadly, I think it pretty much ripped all of the plastic, but I will be able to take that and use it for smaller beds to cover some things during the winter time. Not a complete waste, but dang it would have been nice to get those seeds started early this year. Anyway, let's go on to the rest of the video. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back inside my office with Bones in the Home and the What If folder. If you haven't checked out those episodes, make sure you check out the What If episodes. They're kind of fun mental exercises. But right now, what we're going to be working on is my Black Friday haul. I did all that. I have no idea if the audio is going to sound. Anyway, I wanted to show you guys my haul from the Black Friday sale. Now remember, this is probably not going to be the only sales a lot of these places have. Now, they're going to do big sales around the holidays, but a lot of these places are also going to do like an early spring sale, maybe a midwinter sale, who knows? Make sure you keep an eye on all of those places, maybe follow them on their Instagrams or whatever, and keep an eye out for all of their sales because you might be able to snag yourself some really good deals this season because it's the off season. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to get into it. First up, botanical interest. I managed to get myself a whole lot of seeds. Okay. Now, botanical interest, and now all of their packages that I've gotten so far from them have been very interesting and sturdy boxes that you could actually store your seeds back inside those boxes. So that's a plus. This is a very pleasant looking piece of paper and a seed starting guide. And this is actually a very interesting read, so if you have not ordered from them and read through the little pamphlet, I would definitely recommend reading through the pamphlet. It's a whole lot of information on that thing. And then they usually do a couple of thank you packages. And in this case, I got some lettuce, which is actually a very good time to plant this, I think. Especially these red-leafed ones, this is a great time to plant those. But anyway, I digress. This was like the free thing. Let me make sure I'm actually pointing it to where you guys can see it. I noticed when I did this last time, the little seed thing that I did on the other channel, I had it to where there was a shine on all of them, so you couldn't hardly see what I was showing. So anyway, let's make sure we do it right this time. Yes? These are seeds. They're not for you. I'm sorry. You've already had your snacks. What are you doing? No, 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 no. This is not a cat box. It's a box, but it's not a cat box. You can't have it. This is probably the first time Libra's shown up inside one of these videos. This is Libra. She has a brother named Leo, and they have a cousin named Hiroki. And all of them will probably show up at some point during one of my videos, so... They're seeds! I'm sorry, there is no catnip in here, kitty kitty. None. None whatsoever. I should definitely get her some catnip. Okay, the first one I've got, now this is a lot of seeds, so I may or may not go through all of them, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna try and run through them really, really quick. What I did is I set myself a limit on how many I could order, which was $50 worth of seeds, and I told myself this is gonna be the time that I order the things that I probably wouldn't spend an investment amount of money on because I'm gonna get them at a huge discount, which means I don't have to feel bad for it, and it's kind of the off season, so I'm not investing a whole lot in vegetables right now, so I've got a little bit of money for my garden that I'm not necessarily using during this season. I got myself some calendulas. I got myself some zinnias, and some of these are perennials and some of these are annuals, and I wanted to make sure I had plenty of I had two of the cats in here, and one of them was sitting outside the door and bapped them as they came back through. It's gonna be one of those days. I need to put like a camera on my door so I can get recordings of that stuff. Anyway, then I got some amaranth, and I got two different types. I got the Love Lies Bleeding and the Hat Biscuits. The Hat Biscuits. The amaranth I got specifically because it's like a survival type of grain, and we're planning on having chickens this year, so I would like to be able to play around with doing my own grain. Plus, you know, obviously being able to feed my chickens a little bit of something extra other than just like their grain or whatever they're getting from the store would be really, really great. So I've got this. I plan on using this and some sunflowers and some elderberries and stuff like that and making them their own winter feed kind of thing. Hopefully that's a thing that I can do. And then we've got some zinnias. I should probably actually read out the names of some of the styles that I got, because I got this one. This is a cut and come again mix, and this is Gone Underneath My Desk. And this one is the Persian Carpet. And this is another Amaranth Burgundy. Let me put this one with these ones so I can keep track of it. And I got some sunflowers that are the chocolate. Very, very beautiful. I've got some really big ones that I'm going to be planting next year from my old seed. Hopefully those are still good next year, but they grew very, very well. These are slightly different than the ones I've already got. The Mexican sunflower, torch. That one is an actual very, very beautiful flower right there. Snapdragons. And I think I ordered some snapdragons earlier in the year when I did botanical interest, but I could not remember the type that I got. So I might actually have 2 seeds of these. I don't know. I should have checked that, but I didn't order that many flowers and I haven't put any in the ground yet, so I'll have more. Plus, these are perennials. I can plant those, and as long as they survive in the soil, they'll come back next year, so I'm okay with that. Then I've got some borage. I think I ordered some of these, but I could never get any of them to grow, so I'm hoping to plant these up in several different areas of the garden. Then I did get some herbs. These are stevia, which are a sweetener. One of my biggest things is trying to get away from sweets because I've got a huge sweet tooth at certain times. There's times I can't stand sweet, and there are times when I get like a serious sweet tooth and I've got to have something sweet. So I'm hoping this will help me out with that. And then we got some nasturtiums. I already had some nasturtiums grow in my garden, and they did not survive very long. Not long at all. So I'm going to have to play around with not brands, but different types to find out which one grows in my area the best. So this is the Purple Emperor. I got some lemon basil, and then I got this Alaskan variegated nasturtiums. I doubt very seriously this is actually going to be the type that I need, but I'm hoping for some early nasturtiums, which is the reason why I got that one. I want some early blooms. And then I got milkweed, which is supposed to be a very good herb for certain medicinal things. I'm going to take a look at some medicinal things that I can use this for as soon as I can figure out what does and does not grow in my area, and I'll probably put out some recipes as soon as I get those things down. And then I've got some calendula. I also got moonflower. This is one of those flowers that I actually had a long time ago, back when my daughter was first born over 20 years ago. This is one of the first plants I grew on my own. And oddly enough, since that first time growing it and loving the way it smells and the fact that it blooms at night, I never grew it again. And when I saw it up there, I was like, why haven't I tried growing it again? Let me try growing it again. The package is not actually showing very well on here, but it's moonflower. Got some echinaceas. This one is the perennial that I was thinking about. I've got another one in here that's a perennial, and this one is perennial. And this is the dwarf blend, so it'll be a shorter flower. And then we got milkweed, that is the butterfly flower, which is what I really want inside the garden because I kind of need to balance out my wildlife in the garden for this upcoming year. I have got a whole bunch of other things that we are working on. We've got the seeds. I've got a new camera. This is another thing that I got during the sales because Cyber Monday. And it was like, half off, and I was not going to get another deal like that. Now, it's got more parts and stuff that I do have on, but those are kind of optional attachments, and I would much rather use either my tripod or whatever instead of the hand holder thing that it has in here. The only issue is I can't use it quite yet because I don't have the SD card for it. So, and the SD card for my other camcorder doesn't work inside this one, so I'm going to have to order one for this one. And then I'll finally be able to use my audio stuff that I bought a little while ago. So that's finally taken care of, doing one little piece at a time. I got the audio, I've got the camera, let me get the SD card, and then I can actually start running audio tests and getting all that stuff straightened out. Then, on my next order, I ordered from Epic Garden, and you might think, well, if you're going to order from Epic Garden, did you get one of those birdies beds or whatever? And I'm like, I wish. But no. I actually spent the time getting something that I really wanted, that was going to be exceptionally useful, and was almost like 40% off of what I could have gotten. So here we go. Also, by the way, whenever I go to seed start those or put them out in the garden, I will definitely try to make sure I label those properly, so when they start growing, I'll be able to tell you guys all the names of the flowers that we're working with, how they're growing in my particular climate. So what I got myself was 2 seed starting kits. Now, their seed starting kit is actually a little bit on the expensive side, but when you think of how long seed starting kits, I'm actually quite very much happy with these right now. I have gotten quite a few containers whenever I bought containers of plants from like Home Depot and Walmart and stuff like that, and they usually come inside these cells. The problem is they're usually pretty flimsy. Like when you pick them up, they sag a little bit. When you add soil to them and plants to them, they definitely sag. So I was looking for something that would be very, very sturdy, that would last a long time, and I can tell you these are very sturdy. I'm not going to drop it or throw it or anything like that to prove a point. I think I've probably groped it enough, but they're very, very sturdy, and they've got these slits along the sides right here that allow the roots to prune themselves, to air prune themselves, which is like a big thing because I really don't know when I need to start my seeds. I haven't done experiments on seed starting because I didn't have a whole lot of seed starting like soil or pots or anything else like that that I really trusted to be able to handle it. And we were going to do the greenhouse this year, so I was like, okay, I'm going to need some seed starting stuff. Do I go ahead and invest in like a whole lot of pretty flimsy ones, or do I put the money in and invest in something that I'll be able to keep for years and years and years, and I will know how they work? The main thing is them having this bottom watering thing, but it's actually elevated right here. I don't know if you guys can tell. You could probably tell. It's a little bit elevated out of the water, so if I put water into the tray, the roots won't sit down in the water, and they will air prune on all sides so to keep the roots from growing around itself and eventually killing itself. Because even if you kind of break that up whenever you put it into the soil, I have found around here that either some of them, the roots have to get damaged in order to do that, and then it stunts them, or completely constrict themselves. So either a plant is like a 50-50 shot. It's either going to grow well, but it's going to take a while to recover from the loosening up of the roots and everything, or they're going to die off. They won't survive the transplant. I was hoping that these would help me with that. So I have got a huge, huge box of them. A huge box of them. I got 2 of their seed starting stacks. And then my next box. Here we go. Look at these little dudes. All right, and these are the minis. Whenever you first start seeds, especially ones you're planning on starting a whole bunch of, these I would probably start most of them in, unless they're going to be like the bigger plants. Like most of these flowers I'd probably start in here. The tomatoes and peppers I might start inside the other ones that I have, but they have got the same kind of sturdiness, like very, very sturdy. I will say these are kind of flat on the bottom. But like I said, I wanted to make sure I had a variety for whatever I decided to plant. Like these would probably work very well for onions. As a matter of fact, I probably need to start some onion seeds very, very soon. Uh-oh, I'm gonna have to... the tray is actually very, very sturdy. So if I put the plants on here, they're gonna do very, very well. Now my only concern is there are no ridges here at all to stop the plants from sitting inside this tray and getting waterlogged. Now the other ones, since they've got the little elevation part that I pointed out earlier, these ones do not have that. So I'm kind of wondering how that's going to work exactly. I guess I'll find out. The only way to try it is to try it, right? That is it, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to go ahead and call it here. I'm going to do a quick count on all of the inventory to make sure that everything else came in. This might have just been 1 set instead of 2 sets, in which case I need to know, because then I need to make sure I get the other half of my order. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to my garden. Thank you for checking out the sales. I would encourage you to make sure that you yourself are checking out the sales, and maybe next year, if you weren't able to catch all of the sales, put some money back during the regular season. And remember all of these sales that happen during this time of the year. There are so many places trying to get rid of old inventory so their new stuff can come in. This is the perfect time to get some stuff. So that is it. I will see you guys next time. You have a wonderful day, wonderful night, and you stay shiny. Bye.